we got shit over to the window to the left, and I discuss all the time how much defund the police have increased in popularity over this last year because the facts are on our side. We are in the right on this issue, and I want to give Black Bernie Baby in here to share your thoughts on what we were discussing here. When I come at this from the perspective of a libertarian socialist and
Okay.
anarchist. That's what I don't put too much stock in labels, but I like to talk about it because I'm a nerd, and this is what we do. We discuss what we are
Yeah.
about and what the ideas we represent.
Yeah.
And I have criticism of Chomsky, but Chomsky he did define anarchism and libertarian socialism in a way I found very relatable. Where he said he defined anarchism simple as government that justifies itself. So it's actually the conservative who big government nanny state supporters because I support the road to abolition and defund the police because these giant police budgets don't justify themselves.
At all.
Now, how
At
does
all.
that relate to my standing as a socialist? What does justify itself? Increased wages. Medicare for all. Medicare for all not only say $68,000 per year, it actually boosts the economy, boosts wages as well, and save the average family money. That is a policy that initially, and without a doubt, justifies itself. And and you can go down the line, and I'm very consistent on this. Canceling student loan debt. That justifies so because if you cancel student loan debt, that stimulates the economy. That actually helped the black community. Once again, going back to the racial disparity in our economics, we are charged a higher interest rate than our white counterparts. So this is what we were talking about. This is why I love that Savion brought this up. I want to get you in this conversation, Monica. Anything you want to add on here? And I got a story that we can discuss after that because I want to get you in this conversation.
First, I would like to apologize for my
It's all good.
Floridian internet.
It's all good. It's all good.
It took me out.
Thanks, DeSantis.
Everyone know that we always
thank
have
you,
malfunctions of
DeSantis.
some sort. Everyone used to here now. It's all good.
So I wanted to apologize. Just to piggyback just a little bit what Savion was saying, in addition to the prison complex. So I am very big on the abolition of the death penalty. And to piggyback what Savion was saying, in addition to us being imprisoned at a higher rate, we are also executed at a higher rate. And this can be in the same county, the same district attorney, same identical crimes. So Black men die 6 times more likely than white men for the exact same crime. So not only are they imprisoning us based on our skin color, they're also killing us based on our skin color. And of course, I'm Black primarily, but I come from a lower economic background. So in addition to Black people being killed in disproportionately to white people, but also poor people, even white poor people are killed, murdered by the state but 3 times more likely than white men who do identical crimes. So, this prison is just a vicious cycle. It is a vicious cycle because you have your politicians pushing one thing and then getting into office, like Cori Bush, unfortunately, she just voted to give the police more money. So it's kind of like I told you prior to us going on today, how I'm just so politically jaded because I feel like nothing's going to change until, we get, well, I wouldn't say I've actually lost all hope for electoral politics. However, that side, I don't think we have much hope of change unless we do something drastic. So just to piggyback on that, just a little bit.
Yeah, and the only thing we can really do is continue to educate and continue to radicalize people because
Exactly.
the idea, and this is tie into the story we're going to discuss here soon, but the idea that we have a corporate media establishment that can convince the entirety of Black people to support Jim Crow Joe, who's done untold amount of damage to the Black community. That's insanity, and that's why we start Fred Hampton leftists. We got to find a way to counteract that. I don't know if we can, but I'm gonna die trying because it's absolutely. We just talked about the issue of the death penalty. You guys know who was a strong advocate of that, and he said, "I think we should apply the death penalty the way we apply jaywalking." There was a joke, but it showed his mindset. That was Joe Biden. He said it on the Senate floor. And I am very open about my old shit-lib views. And I had a lot of conservative views that I wouldn't even call conservative back then. You guys want to know one of my bad takes that I used to have? I used to be like, yo, I don't care about the death penalty. If someone did say anything to my family, I want them dead. So I used to be on the right of people on that issue, and that when I stood as a liberal Democrat, like, yeah, I'm a liberal, and I got some issues I'm right on, and the death penalty is one of them. Let me explain why that's bullshit. And once again, and I learned this is bullshit through education, what you guys just told me now. So I'm not telling you guys anything new, but I didn't. Back when I had my pro death penalty position, that was before I learned the disparity of the criminal justice system. I was delusional, it's straight up, because I'm thinking like, okay, I'm pro death penalty because they apply it evenly. What?
Exactly.
And then once I learned that they didn't.
On top of that too, I used to be the same way. I am not gonna lie. I used to be the same way, and I will tell you without a doubt, and this is why I had it. Because I am 3 generations. I'm telling you, it was my dad, my grandpa, and my great grandfather of Christian pastors, hardcore. I'm telling you, my great grandfather built churches all the way from Florida all the way here, might as well say to the border of Louisiana, and that a lot of that has to do with being religious because of the fact of saying like an eye for an eye. And all of these different things, like that mentality comes from the white version, the whitewashed version of historical biblical history, like of biblical history. Yeah. And so I think a lot of that plays a part, because I used to be the same way. I used to be in high school, early college. I was like, yeah, of course. Like if you kill someone, then you deserve to die. That's because I learned as a child an eye for an eye, so you deserve it just as much as you doing it to the other person. Now, I would beat the shit out of myself.
That's a brilliant point that you brought up, Savion, because this shows how much our culture like influenced us. Because I was an atheist, but even then, I still didn't know how much religion influenced me. Like, because that is based on Judeo-Christian, the revenge ideology. That's why they have these capital punishment. That's what they use to justify capital punishment. Exactly. And I wasn't even religious, but I didn't even know I was influenced that way. And I had a lot of social conservative views that I didn't even know that I didn't even have, that was influenced by my religion. Now I remember one of the first things that I was like proud of myself was I was like, okay, I support gay marriage. And I remember that was like a big thing. I remember when I was a teenager, like, yeah, I support gay marriage. And there's a lot of people around me that did not. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like, when they was first fighting for the legalization of gay marriage, the black church used to team up with conservatives all the time to block those bills. Yeah, a lot of people don't, and that was one of the first things that started my criticism of the black.
Over half of the voted against it from the start. Yeah, so over half of the the Black Coalition, over half of them voted against it the first time, because they were like, I don't want to be caught in that. Like that was the mentality because of religion.